Hello friends and welcome. Today is Saturday, July 2nd, and it is still morning here, although I'm making this video a bit later than I usually do in the morning. Hope you're all having a great 4th of July weekend, and I hope you all enjoy the 4th of July holiday. It's for those non-US folks, it's probably our biggest national holiday, sort of the birthday of the country or Independence Day. And usually a day for family fun, cookouts, beaches, things of that nature. So weather looks like it's going to be very nice here in eastern PA. I hope it's nice in your neck of the woods, and I hope you all have a great time planned for the weekend. So today I just had a few shop updates that I was going to share with you. I don't really have any burning thoughts that I thought would make for an interesting video today, but I do have a few things going on that I wanted to share. And while I'm doing that, I am attempting to not have this go out. I am enjoying a bowl of this is Cornell & Deal's Shandygaff, and there's been some nice reviews on Shandygaff recently. Benjamin Mitchell did a really nice one a few months ago. Amy Mack has done recently given her impressions of the blend. It's a great summertime smoke. It's one of my favorite summertime blends. And as you can see, this is some that I put up last May, and so it's got about a year of age on it, which for burley blends isn't always that important, but for Cornell & Deal blends, if you haven't tried aging them, even just for a few months, it really does make a huge difference. One of the things I love about Cornell & Deal is their tobacco is fresh and raw in a sense, not a lot of processing and toppings, but it is a bit young when you first get it, so giving it just a few months, in this case a year, makes for a remarkably better smoking experience in my opinion, and the Shandygaff is just fantastic. And it's just perfect for the summertime. It really is. And I'm smoking that in my Lane Crown Achievement pipe that I've had for a few years now, and this is just a really nice solid smoker. I like it a lot. So I've got a couple things I wanted to show you, not really yabos, but things that have come in and things that I'm working on. And the first one is very exciting, and I'm very proud of this. I have gotten my Cobfoolery award. This is the award from Aristocob and Missouri Meerschaum, and you can see it's got this beautiful freehand cob on it, which actually does come off. It's just clipped on there. I don't know if I'm going to smoke it or not. It seems a shame not to, but it's such a nice presentation. I really like this. And if you want to read there, it says, an American heritage, the original Missouri Meerschaum corn cob, unique to the United States of America, and it's got the, it's hard to do this in the camera, it's got the Missouri Meerschaum logo, and then down here it's got this really cool picture of a guy sitting in a chair smoking a corn, well, presumably a corn cob pipe, with a jester's hat on, which goes with the whole Cobfoolery theme, and I like to think that Scott modeled for that carving. And then down below, Aristocob 2016 Cobfoolery Contest, first place, amateur division, amateur classic category. So I'm very proud to have won this. It was a lot of fun. Scott, thanks again for really running a fantastic competition. And you know, just watching all the other entries was well worth the time I spent putting the cob together, and you know, winning was just an incredible treat. So I'm going to find a place of honor for this in the shop, and I'm very proud to have received this. Related to that, and also from Aristocob, I got this shipment in actually a few weeks ago now, but haven't had time to show you. But this is a box of 10 Country Gentlemen that is just waiting for me to have the time to convert them into 10 Stubby Gentlemen, and I'm looking forward to doing that as time permits, now that I'm back to work here in the shop. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully some of the folks that had wanted a Stubby Gentleman will be able to get one then. So I know it's been a long time coming, guys. I apologize. I've had a lot of trouble with my hands and just haven't been able to do much of anything. I have been very slowly working on a Stubby Gentleman here, and this is for a friend that requested I make one for him early on, and you know, I was happy to do that. I was supposed to have this done in May, and because of the problems I ran into, I just haven't been able to do a lot of work on it. But it's getting there now. As you can see, I've got the stem blank all fully fit and drilled, and it's ready to be shaped. And that's the thing that's been giving me the most trouble, because the problem that I had was actually was twofold. I mean, my fingernails are separating from the nail bed, and that's over now. They're healed up, but the nails are still separate. They don't grow back to the bed. They have to grow out. So there's this danger that I can catch them on things and pull the whole nail off, which would be both painful and rather inconvenient. So I'm trying to avoid having that happen. So things like filing on a blank, there's a lot of opportunities to catch, and I wind up cutting up my hands all the time when I do that anyway. So I've been a little bit reluctant to take the last step on this and get this shaped so I can get this pipe off to my friend. But it's coming. I'm hoping to do some work on it this weekend, and I will hopefully get this off the bench and out in the mail very soon. So that's been sort of a prototyping experience for me. I've made some changes to the design. I've extended the overall shank just a little bit. I mean, I've actually got the original here for comparison. You can see it's just a little bit longer. I do have to still decrease the chamber height on this and do a few things. But it's just a little bit longer, and I think that's going to improve the smoking quality quite a bit. I've also streamlined the process a bit by getting rid of that step down that you see here, and just making it one continuous piece. So we'll see how that looks, and I'm fortunate that I was able to do that prototyping on this project. And again, I really appreciate the customer's patience in this, because it's been a long haul. So that's my next project, thing that absolutely has to get done before I can really do anything else. Now, I have started working on, haven't done much since you've last seen it, but working on this Savinelli prints. And the reason I picked this was that I knew it was just going to be a cleaning project, and there would not be a lot to do, and I'd be able to do it with my finger problem. So I admit that this is not a terribly ambitious project, but at least it gets me back on the horse, so to speak, and provides something for you to watch, I guess. So this is going on now, and at the same time I'm working on finishing up this guy. As soon as that's done, I then have another commitment that I absolutely have to do, and that is the very patient Mr. Benjamin Mitchell has been waiting for his cob modification to begin. He won a cob modification in my 200 sub giveaway contest, and again, that was, I believe, back in May. And my apologies for not being able to start that. Benjamin's been very understanding about it, and I hope to get started on that real soon, and I will be videoing that whole process. And Ben has a real interesting idea, so you'll be able to follow along with that. It's a challenging project, and I'm not complaining about that. I like being challenged. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to just put out the possibility of somebody just coming up with an idea for a modification and working along with me in a collaborative way. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. And that should be starting soon after the prints restoration is finished. I'll admit to you that I am going to drag the prints out a little bit just to give me time to get things back up and running. Hopefully you won't mind that too much. So once Ben's pipe is done, I then have another restoration project that another friend has requested. Someone requested that I do a video of a restoration of their pipe, and they sent along the pipe. I'm not going to give away much about that. You'll see it when it comes along. It's a nice project. It's a pipe that's in very good condition, but they don't like the aesthetics of the pipe, so it's going to involve getting rid of some fills and doing some staining and things like that. So that'll be something else to look forward to. So all of that is going to happen before I touch those country gentlemen and start working on the 10 Stubby Gentlemen. And I won't be making a video on those, because you've seen the video on the Stubby Gentleman process. It'll just be repeating that. And I'll probably do that in a batch fashion where I'll make all the shanks at the same time and drill all the balls at the same time and so on. So hopefully that won't take too terribly long. And by then I'm hoping to be pretty much back to normal, and I'll be able to start doing some more challenging restoration projects or additional cob modifications. So it's a bit slow, and again, I appreciate everyone's patience, and I appreciate your patience as well, because I know a lot of you tune in to see the work that I'm doing, and not necessarily just to hear me babble on about whatever it is that I think is interesting that week. So I appreciate all the people that have hung around, and all the folks that have gotten on board too. So more interesting stuff is coming in the not too distant future, so stay tuned for that. Beyond that, I'm looking forward to a fairly quiet weekend. We've got this, some would call it odd tradition, where my wife and I go our separate ways for July 4th. So I usually head up to Vermont, where my dad lives, and often what I'll do is I'll leave a bit early and I'll go up to Montreal for the jazz festival and spend a day or two there, and then drop back down to Vermont and visit with my dad and my brother and sister, and spend some time with them before returning home. And my wife, who's from Pittsburgh, will usually use that time to head on out to Pittsburgh and spend some time with her family. It works out well. So she's not a jazz fan, and that's one of the main reasons we started doing this separately. She would go up to Vermont with me, but she's not a big fan of jazz. And if you've ever been to a jazz festival, if you're not a fan of jazz, it's probably the worst place you could possibly be. But it's a great time. I really enjoy it. So we had both planned these trips, and unfortunately I wasn't able to take my trip this year. Going to have to put that off until probably the late summer. So she still had planned her trip, so she went off to visit with her family in Pittsburgh. So it's just me and the dog for the weekend, which is great because it means I will have time to catch up on some of these shop things. But I also plan to take advantage of the beautiful weather and enjoy some time outside. Maybe play with the dogs a bit and try to train them a bit more, because they're starting to lose their training. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a fun time. So I actually took off yesterday to make it a 4-day weekend and have off on Monday. And yeah, we'll just kind of relax, have some fun, watch some baseball, and see how the weekend goes. So that's about it. As I said at the beginning, I hope you've all got some great plans for the weekend and get to enjoy it. I am going to enjoy the rest of the Shandygaff and then move on with things. So I wish you all well. Thank you for taking the time for watching. And until we talk again, I will say goodbye now. Thank you.